We will begin these interviews with a general statement from Coach Hunter, and then we'll turn it over to questions for the student athletes. Coach?
Yeah, I thought our kids in the first half were very aggressive. Kind of lost at the last 4 or 5 minutes. Again, part of that's too is with our point guard being out. You know, our press offense wasn't exactly. We've never worked on that without Ryan Harrell being pressed, so we were a little scattered. But really proud of the guys because again, you know, we beat a good basketball team. I thought we rebounded the ball well, but I thought defensively we were really good up until probably the last couple of minutes, and they're just throwing some shots in at the end. But this team is really, really good defensively, and it probably doesn't get the credit that it deserves. One of the top 15 teams in the country defensively, and when they lock in, man, it's tough to score. So really proud of these guys, but we didn't come here to beat Lafayette. That's not what our goal was. Our goal was to come here to get to the NCAA tournament.
Questions for RJ or Kevin?
This is for Kevin. Kevin, there was a point in the first half there where you had consecutive steals and consecutive assists, and then you came back and kind of riled the crowd up. Was that as much fun as you've had playing basketball in a while?
Definitely. You know, tournament time is the best time of the year. You know, it's either win or go home. And I kind of feel like, just like what Coach said, we're one of the best defensive teams in the country. So me just getting steals is really helping my teammates out and getting them fast break points as much as I can.
Coach Hunter, what did y'all do specifically on defense that really shut them down? What is the thing that y'all was the goal that we had to do this that y'all were able to do?
Well, nothing different from what we usually do, but we did come in saying that we wanted to defend the three-point line, and we wanted to take that away. We were going to give Long, you know, we were going to give him some hands, but if Long had a great night, that's okay. We wanted to really do a good job of defending the three-point line. I think they made 3 or 4 at the end, but for the most part, my goal is I thought if they shot 20 or more threes, I thought we'd be in great shape. And that was kind of what we wanted to do, force it from the outside, because that takes the ball to Long's hands inside.
We'd like to continue with questions for the student athletes, please.
RJ, after you got the 24-point lead and you saw it going down to about 9, were you having any flashbacks to last year at all and talking to the guys about how to prevent that?
Yeah, it was kind of deja vu, honestly, because that's kind of the exact same way they got back in the game. And I could tell by our body language that we were kind of getting complacent. So all I can do is lead them, but I thought this guy did a good job of leading us and handling the ball, and he hasn't done that all season. And for him to step up in a big game like that, that's huge for us.
RJ, second straight game you've had more than 30 points. It coincides with Ryan hurting his hamstring. How much, I mean, you're a scorer anyway, but if you felt even more pressure or more need to put the ball in the basket?
Yeah, definitely, because that's my scoring partner, so usually I feed off him, but I just think I had to be a little more ultra aggressive, and opportunities came. I feel like I missed some easy ones, and I put up some bad shots, but I was in a good rhythm tonight. I was getting easy baskets, easy fast break points. That really gets me going, so I just got to stay aggressive.
Kevin, you were in the point guard position. How much is playing in all those games postseason? How much did that help you, the experience of playing at Louisville and playing on big stages like that? Did that help today?
Honestly, I haven't played. I took a year off, you know, so I kind of lost a lot of that. So right now I'm really just getting everything back. You know, I'm Georgia State basketball player, and that's because of these guys. That doesn't have anything to do with Louisville right now.
Any other questions for RJ in front or Kevin?
RJ, obviously the goal is to win tomorrow, but still, how good does it feel to beat the team that knocked you out last year?
That's cool, but that's not really my mindset. I think I got over that. You know, I moved on from that probably this summer. So as I was probably losing a lot of hours of sleep over it, so I got over that. They're a good basketball team, super well coached with a tough player inside. So, I mean, that's good, you know, more than the revenge part. But we came here for 80 minutes, and that's just 40, so we're only halfway done.
Any other questions for the student athletes? RJ, Kevin, we will dismiss you at this time. Thank you.
What's Harrow's status for tomorrow?
We'll start him and see how he can go. I took him out earlier today. I thought I could have brought him back in, but we got on a roll. And what I didn't want to do is let him sit for a long period of time and bring him back. And we were playing so well, and then I thought once we got to halftime, we got the lead, and then he sat there for so long. You got to warm that thing up. And so we'll do the same thing tomorrow. So we'll let him go and see if he can get going. Leave him in as long as I possibly can. We don't really have a bike or anything to kind of on the side and keep it warm. So that's the problem that we've got. He has to continue to play. But regardless if we do, I mean, I think we're 6 or 7-0 when he doesn't play. And so, we're still a good basketball team. And so we love to have him play, but if he doesn't, we came here to win. He didn't practice with us all week. And so we came here to get this thing done.
And did you put him in at the end just for free throws? Or?
Yeah, I did. I thought if they could foul it, because he's such a great free throw shooter, and I wanted to do that, and especially with Marcus fouling out, and we didn't want to put Isaiah in that spot. So again, it's not like he can't shoot or he can't do those things, and so special situations, it was good to be able to put him in, and I thought he was able to handle the ball, make a pass, and so again, I would expect him to get a little bit more playing time tomorrow, and we'll just leave minutes for as long as he can go.
RJ has not shot the ball from three-point range as good this year as he did last year, but he seems to be heating up in the last few games. What's been the difference for him this year, and you like seeing him hit
open shots? He hadn't had many open shots. We talked about that all year. I bet he's had about 12 open shots all year. He's had guys grab and hold and chase him, and I think RJ has played his best basketball in his life this year. Forget the shooter. He's become a complete basketball player, rebounding, getting to the free throw line, handling the ball, assists, block shots. I mean, he's just been unbelievable. I think he needed this type of year, to be honest with you. Everybody knows he can shoot it. Because if all of a sudden you look at the stats, try not guard him and see what happens. So we're not worried about that. But he's become a better basketball player because of that. And so he's just in a great rhythm. Last year at this time, I'll be honest with you, RJ was really banged up. Really banged up. He went into the Arkansas State game. Prior to that, he never was the same player. So this is the first time he's coming to a conference tournament healthy.
Coach, it seemed like Kevin sort of settled y'all when Ryan out of the game at point guard. There seemed to be a calm about him on this big stage. Did you see that, and did you expect that?
He had an unbelievable practice this week. He's been great. The thing is that it's not a physical thing with Kevin anymore. It's really mental. He needs some success. He needs some good things to happen to him. And I was glad to see that. That kid's a good player. People don't realize how good a player. He's a really good player, and I think people really see that next year. But he is just starting to figure it out. He's getting confidence, and actually it helps a little bit when Ryan's not there, because he could become that other guy. It's hard for him to be that third guy when Kevin when RJ's going, and then you got Ryan Harrell going. So your third guy, you kind of got to fit in. Now him being that next guy, it really helps him. So and that's one of the reasons why we've been so successful when Ryan hasn't played, because it gives Kevin that opportunity to be that other guy.
And can you talk about Isaiah's contribution in the first half? I assume you taught him how to dunk. Is that right?
Yeah, he's. We talked about when he plays. I think it's double-digit minutes. Our record's incredible. I mean, he's just been unbelievable. It's been a blessing, and especially again when Ryan doesn't play, he gets those extra minutes. But he just gives us another athletic wing that's really tough defensively. Gets his hands on a lot of balls, and he finishes around the basket. Unbelievable athlete. So for a young man as a freshman, he's got a really, really bright future, and so. So it's a team win. Our guys did a good job, but it's great. There was no celebrating. There was no rah-rah. Look, we did a little bit of that last year. We've matured so much. Even after we won the conference championship, the guys went in the locker room. They've been so business-like. We've been preparing for this moment, to be honest with you, since November 1st. The hardest part of my job is trying to convince the guys to get to this moment where we're finally here at this moment. And I'm happy because now I don't have to trick them anymore.
Coach, you guys had 22 points off 16 turnovers in the first half. What were you doing to force all those turnovers and then convert them?
That's just our defense. I think we caught them off guard by opening the game pressing. We haven't pressed in a while like that. And actually, the guys came to me and said, Coach, we want to press. We want to get after them. Because one thing you don't want to do with Lafayette, you don't want to get them up and down the floor. That's how they score. We wanted to lock them in half court. But yesterday, when we had practice, the guys said they wanted to press them. So my staff said no, the players said yes, and we ended up pressing. So I'm going to start listening to my players a little bit more. But they wanted to press, and that got us going because that makes us aggressive when we press. We really get after it that way.
Anything else for Coach Hunter? Coach, thank you for your time.
Thanks, guys. See you tomorrow.
We dug ourselves a hole in the first half. The score was 29-25, I believe, and we had just hit a three. Hayward had just hit one, and Jay was pushing the ball. He missed him, and the game got away from us right there. We didn't pitch the ball to Hayward and missed a shot, and they went on a little run right there. And just like the last play, we thought the guy was out of bounds, and then they go down and dunk the ball at the end of the first half. Turnovers hurt us in the first half. They were a plus 21, was that right? 22-1 maybe or something in turnovers. I mean, we can't hand out layups. It's a miracle that we got as close as we did. And our guys played hard to the end. I'm proud of their efforts. And if we'd had a little bit more time, then Mike could have been 5 more minutes. I like the way we fought at the end. We finally made some three-point shots. which was good, but just too many turnovers early and too many layups for them. We didn't defend in the half court. They're not a good three-point shooting team. We are, and we didn't show it till the very end of the game.
Questions for the student athletes?
Casey, with the way that they were pressing early, what was the most difficult thing for you guys just in terms of getting into your offense, getting in motion?
I don't think we were aggressive enough. We were stagnant in our offense, and we were playing a little conservative. I think we should have attacked more and attacked smarter. And like Coach said, too many turnovers in the first half that got us into a hole that unfortunately we couldn't get out of.
Question here, over here.
Devontae, what were you guys able to do to turn the game around a little bit and make it a close game late? I think you guys were down by 24 at one point before charging back.
We just found a soft spot in the zone. We just got it in the middle, try to make smart plays.
Question over here.
Casey, with Ryan Harrow injured and not playing much for them, you guys knew RJ was going to take a lot of shots and be a high volume. Were you disappointed with the number, how many points he was able to get off? He's a good offensive player, but do you wish you guys had been able to control him a little bit better? You've done a pretty good job in the past of slowing him down.
He's a good player. He had a good game. Personally, I don't think that's the reason we lost. I feel myself personally didn't do a good enough job taking care of the ball. I feel like that's why we lost. So RJ Hunter scoring a lot of points doesn't really concern me. We still have to take care of the ball.
Questions? Right here.
Casey, how important would it be for you guys if you happen to get the opportunity to continue playing in some tournament?
It'll be big for us. Hopefully we can take everything we learned today and turn it around and continue on and finish the season better than what we are right now. But that'll be a big opportunity for us. Hopefully we get it.
Casey, what was leading to all those turnovers early? Was it their press? Was it just some carelessness with the ball?
Carelessness, not so much them, just the way we were passing the ball. I don't think we did a good job helping each other out in the press, and I think we were a little reckless at the beginning of the game, and then it came back to bite us.
Devontae, how surprised were you to see them come out as aggressively as they did in the first half defensively?
I don't think they was that aggressive. We just didn't take care of the ball. That's it. It's nothing new. We knew they was going to play good defense. We just didn't take care of the ball.
Casey, what does it say about the team to be in that big hole but fight back and make it a game at the end?
Shows the heart. And some of our players have a lot of heart, and we never gave up. We never gave up on each other. We played hard for each other, and we were able to make a big comeback. We just fell short at the end.
Any other questions for the student athletes? Casey and Devontae, you are dismissed, and we shall continue with questions for Coach Marlin.
One point in the second half, it looked like they'd called a technical foul on Georgia State. It turned out to be a two-way technical, and then they ended up calling a technical on you on top of it. What did they tell you about that? And at the time, do you think that could have ultimately made a difference in the game?
Absolutely. There was a time where we were coming back, and we saw a block shot by Register, and he may have said something, but R.J. Hunter went on and on and on, as he does on every whistle, and they call it technical, double technical, and they didn't tell me anything. And so I got upset, and it's the first technical I've had in 33 games. And it did impact the game.
Coach Hunter talked about how his own players talked him into pressing a lot more than they originally planned on early. Did that not surprise you at all to see them come out like that?
Now, I don't really consider that a press. You guys keep talking about press because it was not full court, more of a half court. It helped them. They were good in it, Tim. I thought they were aggressive. We knew, like Devontae said, we knew they'd play well. They're a better defensive team than they were a year ago. And they do a good job in their half court. But early they were active and got their hands on some balls and got away with being physical and led to some easy opportunities for them.
Even beyond that, or picking up on that, what do you think was the biggest frustration that Jay Wright was having, just in terms of kind of kickstarting the offense?
I think he's trying too hard at times, and you guys have seen him do that before this year. And as I mentioned in the opening comment, that he missed Hayward in a corner after he had just hit one, got one to bounce in. We didn't make many in the first half, only made 2, and then we made a few at the end. But we needed him to keep his head up and see that he missed it, and just got frustrated. And he spent a lot of time and energy trying to guard Hunter, and he did a good job on Hunter early. Stove gave up the first couple of baskets, you know, and Hunter shot 22 times. We knew he'd shoot a high volume. Shot a few air balls. He forced some shots as well.
Sean had, I think, 6 points yesterday and 7 today. Obviously, you guys were able to compensate for it yesterday, but without him being able to do that today, how much of an impact did that make?
Not being able to score, too.
Yeah, just offensively.
Yeah, it hurts. I mean, if he's able to get 32 like Hunter did, it would have been a big help. But in his fairness to him, we didn't get the ball inside to him. They did a nice job collapsing inside, and we became frustrated as a team trying to get it in there, and our guards wound up shooting. You know, Hayward plays 19 minutes, and he and Casey both played 19 minutes and get off 11 shots. So, and we had to shoot some at the end, some threes to get back in it. It's what we told him during the timeout, to get to the soft spot in the zone and drive it. And I thought Stove did a good job, Ronkowski did a good job, and Devontae. And then we said layups and threes, and we were able to get into it. And we defended pretty well. We started the foul game early and put them at the line. They shot a bunch of free throws tonight, and a lot of them were late because we fouled, and they made most of them. So that, I don't know when their last field goal. Kreider may have got one off a near steal, but they only had, I would bet, one field goal in the last 8 minutes of this game.
When the turnovers are starting to kind of happen in bunches like they did in the first half, does that almost make them start coming more when guys start to press with them kind of jumping onto a big lead early like that?
A little bit. Yeah, I think some of our guys got caught up in the moment and tried too hard. And it's a long game. You've got to just stay the course. And, you know, I could see a little bit of slippage tonight at the end of the game. Again, if we can keep playing over 40 minutes, but we just turned it over too many times. They had the momentum. They were able to capitalize on that. And they got a lot of easy opportunities in transition. It's something we talked about last night as a staff and told the guys we can't let happen, and it did.
Coach, was it just too much emotion early? I mean, I know obviously your players were focused for this game, wanting to be them. And was it too much emotion with young kids? And then as the game went on, it kind of what kids who were going to be back, just looking to the future, that played real well, and you can kind of see that could pay off in the future.
Yeah, certainly think about that. We've got a young group, and we don't start any seniors. And Jay Wright has not been in this situation before, a couple of younger guys. Casey struggled a little bit with the ball. He's streaky at times like that. When he's good, he's really good. And when he loses a couple, then you got to calm him down because he'll get excited. But this game should have helped. The way we finished it should help us in the future, certainly moving forward.
With Ryan Harrow coming in with an injury and leaving pretty early, do you feel like the first half was a missed opportunity? Because if you put pressure on them early, Georgia State, they weren't sure how they would handle themselves without him being on the court.
Well, I think it played out to benefit. I said this before, and I honestly believe this at times, that they might be a better team without him. And for him to come in at the end and have an opportunity to make free throws, that certainly played to their favor moving forward. He had a big game against Monroe down the stretch for him. I know that, and he can really score the ball, and he's hurt us in the past too. But I thought Dennis was really good for Georgia State. He stepped up and made some big, they were mostly layups, but he attacked the basket and did what he needed to do and gave them, 10 extra points?
How deserving do you think your guys are of continuing to play in the postseason, and how confident are you that you will end up somewhere?
Well, we'll wait and see what happens. I'd say it's probably 50-50. I think we're very deserving. We've won 7 games in the league, and it's the longest streak of any team in the conference. We missed a second-round bye by 1 win. We haven't lost a game in a month, guys. It's February 12th. So this team's done a lot of really good things. They've grown together at the end of the year, and I really like our nucleus moving forward. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Any other questions for Coach Marlin? Coach, thank you for your time.